Hi, Mediology, Med5. I recorded the video tutorial, but I just realized I forgot to introduce it. So this is going to be the first video where you will learn how to set up your Unity 6 environment to develop VR. So make it recognize your head-mounted display and be able to look around your virtual environment. And then finally, we're going to bring in some hands that you will learn how to animate the hands and make them move based on which buttons you press on the controller. So I hope this is introduction enough. Now I'm going to cut to the tutorial. See you on Wednesday.
Krieger! Jazz hands!
So I hope that you have installed a Unity 6.0 version on your computers. If you haven't, go into installs in your Unity hub and then make sure to install it. I recommend installing a LTS version of Unity, a long-term support version, so you don't need to worry about each time a new version of Unity comes out. But then Unity recommends something else, which is also cool, I guess. It will work. I'm just based on habit using downloading LTS versions of Unity every time. If once you have the project, once you have Unity installed, press creating a new project, and then call it something like Mediology VR. I'm not going to connect it with my cloud. Then press create project. This is going to take some time. Let's see. I'm going to stop the recording while this is going on. Okay, so my Unity project is finally open, and you guys are already familiar with Unity, so I'm not going to give you a brief introduction to Unity in this video. First thing we're going to do is in our main hierarchy, we don't need this main standard camera, this old school camera anymore. Just right click on it and press delete. But then we're gonna work with something called XR Interaction Toolkit. And in order to be able to use XR Interaction Toolkit, you need to download its package. So you go to Package Manager, go to Unity Registry, and then you type in XR Interaction Toolkit. Boom, here it is. And then you install the XR Interaction Toolkit. Pressing this button. So I just press install because I have already downloaded it for other projects. If you haven't downloaded it, you first have to press download and then install, I think, as far as I remember. It's been a while. Okay, so that was step one. Second thing you need to do is to go to samples here, and then you need to import the starting assets of XR Interaction Toolkit, because we're gonna need those to set up our project. Cool. Now project setting comes up of itself. It goes to something called project validation here under XR plugin management. And then it says, oh, interaction layer 31 should be set to teleport for teleportation locomotion. We are not even going to look at that yet, but often I just listen to whatever this validation thing says, because it got this magical button called fix. I wish I had a button like that for my life. Then you press fix button and then it's gone. It's fixed. It's beautiful. If you have this project setting windows open, you go to XR plugin manager and you press install XR plugin management. But if you don't have it open, you can have it open by going into your edits and into your project setting, and then you will get the project setting open. And then you can press the XR plugin management and press install XR plugin management. This is the second package we need to work with Unity, to work with VR in Unity. So now we are ready. So it's asking us, what do we want for Windows computers, or for also Macs for that matter? What do you want for Android? I'm gonna press Open XR here, because if we could choose Oculus, even though it's not called Oculus anymore, but yeah, we could choose Oculus, but we're not gonna go with that in this case, because we want our application to work on all kind of HMDs, not just the Oculus. And then let's fix everything once again. Boom. then it fixes most of them, but some of them, at least one interaction profile must be added, and so on. We're gonna look at those in a second. But then, yeah, wait a second. Again, there is some waiting here. If there is too much, I will try to fast forward the video. Oh, everything is fixed, I guess. But we still need to add the interaction profile. Also for the Android, by the way, press OpenXR. Especially those of you who got Macs, you need to be building APKs if you want to play around with your application. And those of you who don't have a dedicated graphic cards on your computer and your Windows PC in general, you should make sure to press OpenXR on the Android. OpenXR here. Then we come here. We need to tell it which kind of controllers we're going to be working with. And as you see above my head right now, there are so many different head controller profiles you can import and work with in your project. If you want to work with the Valve Index controller and so on. In this one, we're going to work with Oculus Touch controllers. So I'm going to press that button. And for the sake of it, I'm going to also do it for the Android. Project validation, there is none. Then we are more or less ready to do VR. We are ready for VR. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is to create a floor, because I'm gonna create just a very simple scene where you can look around. That's what we're gonna do today with your headset. And then also we're gonna create it so that you can take your hand. And I want you to understand the XR Interaction Toolkit here. And again, as I told you, this video is not for those of you who are experienced in making VR. This is for so that everybody in your group is able to create VR. I'm gonna right click, make a plane, call it floor. I'm not gonna care about this color, just gonna reset its position. I think it was already resetted actually. Yeah, so everything, I reset it so everything is set to 0. And then if you right click in your hierarchy, go down to XR, you see that you can create a XR origin here. That is basically our VR rig. It gives us an XR interaction manager. Don't mind that right now, but it got its own camera. That's why we removed our camera before. So that's beautiful. Right now, we should actually be, oh, one thing though, XR origin. Just in track origin mode, instead of like making a preset camera Y offset, you can just say look at the floor, because our headset, the Quest, knows where the floor is because it's 6 degrees of freedom. Another thing is that I hope that you all have like set up your headset, those of you who are going to work directly with the computer, so that it's ready to be used as a link connection with the USB cable. It's quite easy. I hope it will work. Otherwise, I will physically come and help you during the class. But yeah, you take this on. I mean, I'm just gonna make sure it's ready to talk. Enable, yes. So my link is getting enabled. I just want to see if I can look at this beautiful 3D environment I have created here. Just press play. And yes, we can look at this beautiful 3D environment by moving around the headset. I just put a finger in it and it thinks my head is in it. So yeah, so far so good. This is now able to look and see your virtual environment, but we don't have any hands. The controllers are not detected. Nothing is happening. And the whole point of this was to create a simulation where we could work with our hands, right? So first thing first, I have uploaded those super bad hand models. Make nicer hand models than mine. Also, the pivot of the hand models I have uploaded are all fucked up. So if you guys can make your own hand model and find them somewhere else, or you can also make a fix for the pivot problem in Unity yourself. But yeah, it's gonna work here. I'm just gonna write hand, no, 3D models. And I'm gonna try to bring in the... So yeah, just to show all of you, if you want to have unzipped the hands, you just grab the hands and then you drag the hands and then you release the hands. So here it is, left hand, right hand. These are the models. We're gonna create an avatar from this model so that we have it later on for our animation, which we will get back to. But right now, save, yes. Right now, we don't have any hands here, as you can see. There's only a main camera. Where do I put these 3D hand models? How does this XR rig know where my hands are, where my controllers are? It doesn't know. It have no idea right now. What we need to do is to give it hands, and we want the hands to be children of the face, because that's usually how it is with us in real life. Our hands are children of our face. So we're gonna right click on the camera offset here and make a child for it. Gonna make an empty one. One of them I'm gonna call left hand. And again, I'm gonna show you these things from scratch. You can download, you can use packages and so on, or you can even use some of the started assets to just get everything up and running with all kind of functionalities. But then you don't understand what's going on, some of you at least. So I just want everyone to know exactly what's going on here. So now we have a left hand game object and right hand game object, and there is nothing on it. We're gonna do like this with both of them, and then I'm gonna add something called a track post driver into it. Then you see here you get two track post drivers, and we want to work with the one that uses the new Unity input system, which is only 10 years old now or something. No, it's just the input system. But yeah, not the old one. And if you don't have this one with the input system, you have to download the package for it. And the package is under Windows, Package Manager, Input System. Yeah, there you go. And mine is not updated. God damn it. I'm gonna update it. And once mine get updated, cool. So now we have two hands, and we want to give them, we want all of them, you have to make sure that they use a reference, because we're gonna use the starter asset thingy we just downloaded. If you remember, I just pressed here and said the user reference, because we have downloaded a reference in our XR Interaction Toolkit samples starter assets here. I'm not gonna look around here, I'm just gonna try to find them. So you can search down here. You need a position input and an action input, and this is very important. This is how the controller using the input system, because the input system, if you guys remember from second semester, the Unity input system is much easier way to work with input controllers. It could be Game Boy, Xbox controllers, keyboard, and so on. Also VR headsets, especially with the XR Interaction Toolkit and the starting assets. So it just looks, okay, what is the rotation input and what is the, oh, here's my finger. Where is the rotation input and where is the position input? So what you have to do is to give it that. So I'm thinking XR Interaction Toolkit, and you need to specify which hand, which controller, left position, something like that. Yes, XRI left position. It should be here. Let's take it and drag it up there. We're gonna do the same. Left rotation. There we go. Now it should know its position and location. Right position and right rotation. Oops. There we go. Boom. So now we have two hands, but there is no hands because they are super empty. There is not going to be anything visible. So in order just to see if our hands are hands, we can actually give them a hand. So how we're going to do that is we're going to grab our 3D model of the left hand and we're going to pull it up to the left hand. And the same with our right hand, we're going to put it in the right hand. Just to see this, you can press F. Oh, there are hands. Cool? Cool. Let's see our hands. And if they work, we give ourselves a hand. Do I have hands? I have one hand. I have two hands and I have this. Hey, but it looks weird, as you notice, maybe. It looks like right controller low. This is perfect. Uh, I'm holding my hand. I'm gonna put down right controller because I don't want to use the battery. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? I'm holding my hand like this, but it's being shown to me like this. But I wanted to show like this. So we need to do some rotations and stuff. Where am I? So what we're gonna do is to take the hands, and what axis is what axis? X axis is the green one, so I guess it's the Z axis. Yes. So what if I give it 19? And the right hand, I guess I give minus 19. So it becomes a little bit more like this. So it becomes like this while we hold it. So one of them, the left hand got 19, right hand 90 degrees rotation. Now I'm gonna press A. Oh, right hand battery, you bastard. Oh shit, my link was not ready. You have to be very sensitive. You have to just take your time, be gentle, wait for the link to start connecting, and then press play. If I just press play and then take my on my HMD, it doesn't work. No, now it looks much more like my hands. That's nice. Perfect. Perfect. Cool, 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 cool. So far so good, but there are no animations on this hand. So because when we want our hand to animate, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna animate our hand. Just gonna disable this hand for once now because my right hand is running out of battery. We can in the end just duplicate the left hand and rotate it maybe the other way around. It becomes right hand. It's not that big a problem. Again, use your own models. But here it is. This is my beautiful left hand and I want to animate it. And how do I animate it? You do it here. And if you don't have this thing here, I'm gonna close it. The way you get this is you go to Windows, Animation, and then Animation. So animation within animation, and then it opens on the other screen. I'm just gonna pull it here, and I like having it down here. So should you. Then it tells me down here. To begin animating left hand, create an animation clip. Okay, I want to animate left hand. I'm gonna create animation clip. Also, I want to do it in here, and I'm gonna call it animations. There we go. And this one should be idle. Boom. Perfect. I'm gonna. Perfect. So my idle animation, I don't want anything for it. I want it to be idle. So I'm just gonna press this, beep. We want just a little bit of movement. Nah. I guess idle is idle, whatever. We're gonna create a new animation, this one. Because the controller, they have a button down here and a button up here. And I want different animations to be played when this button is pressed and a different animation to be played when this button is pressed. You guys can be creative and play different animations while the other buttons are pressed also. But to be started, we're gonna start with these two buttons. And then one of them, because it's on the shaft, if I press it, I make this movement. So I would say it would make like a pointing hand, right? So I would like it to make point while I press this. The other one, the trigger, the shooting button, so I want it while because when I press that one, it looks like I'm doing this, right? So I want like a pinch also, a pinch animation to be played while I'm pressing this. And then while I press both of them, then I make a fist. And then you want them to make the fist. So we're gonna start by, which is easiest, I guess, this one is easiest, the pinch. So I'm gonna start making the pinch animation. Boom. So this is the picture. I'm just gonna start recording. So now this is where I am terrible at animating stuff, and I hope you guys know how to. I mean, you guys have the patience and stuff to make beautiful animation and skills, of course. I need to open this. This is like a very joint heavy hand. So hold it down Alt and press this, and then everything gets open, which is beautiful. Index. I need the thumb and I need the index finger. Where is the thumb? Let's find the index first. Where are you, index? Index. Here is index. I want to basically rotate the index finger just a little bit, right? So I'm gonna go down here and press on rotate. Boom, here is up here. You can just press so that it only rotate. Gonna rotate this mother joint a little bit. Then I'm gonna go to the child, rotate that one a little bit, or maybe a little bit more than a little bit. And then the last one, gonna do like this. Okay, maybe the mother can go a little bit more further also. Then I'm gonna grab the thumb. Then I'm gonna put the thumb down. I'm gonna take the child off the thumb and then make a little bit of this. Maybe a little bit more of this. Should I take the top of the thumb also? Oh my god, this is almost good. Oh, there we have it. That is a pinch. Now we want what's his face? No, yeah, a pointing. Point. So we create a new animation, everything get resetted. Now we need to grab all these other fingers and close them down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the this is the whole hand, this is the index, middle finger. We're gonna start with the middle finger. Close it, I guess, yay much. Take his child, close it yay much. And then take its other child and close it yay much. Okay, that is okay. And then the pinky, which one is it? Why is it pinky first before ring? Okay, let's take the ring, close it this much. Then the second joint, close it this much. I'm losing my patience. I'm doing it a little bit fast. You guys can make beautiful hand animation. Oh. And then I'm gonna take the pinky and I'm gonna put the pinky right here and right here and down here. I mean, for this to become a real point, the index finger needs to be a little bit more pointy. So let's just grab the index finger, take it a little bit more out, like this. Now it points. Oh, the top joint is also a little bit weird. There we go. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I forgot to press record. So nothing has been saved. To the Control Z machine. See, this is... I am making the mistakes so you guys don't make those mistakes. Idle. Create new one. Alright, that one. Yes, this is my point now. Press this big red button before you do stuff. Okay, this is gonna be terrible. Now I'm gonna do it just faster. Middle finger. Down. Oh, maybe not that fast. Down. 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 Pinky. Fuck it. Whoa. Whoa. Down. Down. And down. And then I'm gonna take the ring finger also. Down. Down. And down. Then we took the index finger. There it is. Point it. Point it a little bit more. Point it a little bit more. Okay. So that is my pointing animation, and it's saved. Now we're gonna make a fist. So the fist is everything goes down. We start with the index finger. Goes down, down, and did I press the... Press this button, and then take the index finger down. The child of the index finger down. Take this one down. Then I'm gonna take the pinky finger, down. I'm gonna take this one down a little bit. Maybe the mother pinky. Oh, fuck it. Then this one comes down. Good. And then I'm gonna take the other finger down. I'm gonna take this down like that, and a little bit more down like this. Then I'm just gonna let this sink in a little bit. Okay, and then finally I'm gonna take the middle finger and I'm gonna put that down, and I'm gonna put that down here. And a fist is, holy shit, what's happening to the little finger? Where is the little finger? It's called pinky. There we go. I guess that is okay. I'm not really caring about it much, to be honest, but yeah, this is more of a fist. The thumb needs to get down on it also. There we go. And there we go. This is a fist-ish, and everything is saved. Good. Now we have our animations. 4 beautiful pieces of animation for the left hand. And it automatically did something which we should do ourselves. So I'm going to remove this. Our animations are still here. We're gonna do this from scratch. So I just want it to be remove component, revert. I mean, it's okay. It should have an animator. Here it is. The left hand animator. Its controller is missing, but I want to make everything from scratch. So I'm gonna just make a controller. Animation, animator controller, and hand animation controller, I'm gonna call it. And then you just drag it here so it has a controller. And then now we're gonna go and play with it. Oh, we can also give it, it got an avatar already. Perfect. So this is our hand animation controller. I'm gonna just make these things smaller and then break this here so it's visible. We're gonna create something from a blend tree, and you're gonna see why in a second. So double click, create a blend tree as I did, double click on it, press your blend tree. We have several different buttons that we want to do different stuff with. Based on if one is pressed, if the other one is pressed, if the both of them are pressed. So it becomes like a 2D freeform thingy, and we want them to work with the variables we get when we press down buttons. And these buttons, when they go down, they go from 0 to 1, so they are floaty, and that's why we can, if you are gonna do this finger, it will become like super, based on how fast you press it, it gets it goes up and goes down. So for that, I'm gonna just make one of them is the grab button, usually we call it. So I'm gonna call it grab. I'm gonna remove blend. I don't need the blend, it's just something it created automatically for me. Then I'm gonna create another float. I'm gonna call it trigger, because usually this is referred to as the grab button, because this is what you press usually to grab stuff, and this is the trigger button because this is what you usually press to trigger stuff. Okay, shoot stuff, I guess, because it's down here. It feels like a gunshot thingy. We want basically 4 different motions, because one of them is also not doing anything. Should also be a motion. Okay. Parameters should be the grab and the trigger. So what we want is, once the grab is pressed, do something. Once the trigger is pressed, do something. Once both of them are pressed, do something. And once none of them are pressed, do something else. See? It sets it up like that. There are no motions. Here's where you put your animations. So when the grab button is pressed and nothing else, you point. You remember? So grab button is pressed, you point. So I'm going to press point animation. While the trigger button is pressed and nothing else, you pinch. So I'm going to put in the pinch animation. And the both of the buttons are pressed, you fist. And then nothing is pressed, you just chill and idle. All right, so then now we have our animation. blend tree ready to be animated using inputs from the input system from your VR controller. So if we go back to our left hand, we need to put a script on it to be able to animate it. So I'm just gonna make something called animation controller. Did I also call that one? I guess it's cool. I'm just gonna make a folder for our scripts. What did I press? No. Well, anyways, and I'm just gonna put this inside scripts here. And then gonna wait again. Left hand, drag and drop this one here, and then we're gonna open it. And it's opening. There we go. We're gonna be using the Unity engine input system. So we're gonna add that here. Just a heads up, I just got this fancy new, not Danish keyboard. So I'm still getting used to this weird layout of the keyboard. So I just switched it to English, to American keyboard, so that I can see on my keyboard where the different buttons on before for making this video, before I figure out how to set it up. So I'm gonna be like semicolon is not shift, holding shift down. There's a dedicated button for semicolon, which is beautiful. Wait, oh my keyboard is in Danish right now. Oh shit, because that is gonna be fucking things up. I'm gonna figure it out. Let's see. So now we have that. So what we're going to be needing are some input action properties. We're gonna make them public, and then we're gonna let them listen for input actions events from our controller. And we're gonna make 2 of those, one for each button. We wanna play with input action property. I'm gonna make one of those are gonna be made for the grab action, and one of those are gonna be made for the trigger action. So we're gonna call this one grab action. Okay, that sounds weird, but yeah. And then we're gonna call the other input action property trigger action. There we go. And then we also want to play with our animation public, what do you call it, animator. My animator. Good. So what we want to do is to, in our update, we don't need start. I mean, we could assign animator to whatever this is on and so on, but we're not going to do that now. What we're going to do is to listen for inputs and then make a float out of it. And that float is going to change the float in our animation. So here, we're going to change the floats that we just made down here, the grab and trigger floats, using the input that comes out of these 2 input action properties. So I'm gonna call it to make a float. We're gonna call it grab value, and that is gonna be equal our grab action. What's it called? Grab action, not value. Action. Get the read value, I think it was called. Read value. Oh, and here is the problem with the Danish keyboard. Let me change it. I'm gonna make it English because then I have nice buttons here, and then I want to read it as a float. The parentheses are now somewhere else than I'm used to. And the semicolon is here. So now the fucking up starts. Now we're gonna do the same for the trigger value. So we're gonna make it trigger value, and we're gonna make this so that the equal sign also doesn't need shift. Trigger action read value. So we're gonna read the value from our trigger, and that's it. And now I wanted to like send these variables, grab value and trigger value, to those 2 variables we have in our Unity here, grab and trigger floats. So how we're gonna do that is by accessing our animator, set its float. Which float we want to set? We discussed first was the grab float. I think that's what we call it, right? Yeah, grab float. And the grab float should be called grab, should be the same as grab value. Where is the semicolon? There it is. Then we're gonna do that again. This time my animator set float again. Parenthesis open. This time we're gonna the trigger one, and we're gonna play with the trigger value. There we go. So now it should work. It should change the value of those things while we are in the left hand. Oh, we haven't given it any so they are empty, the grab action, the trigger action. We made them public so we could assign them from the input system, assign them from what the samples we had downloaded. So we're gonna once again use reference. Then we're gonna use left action. Was it something? Left activate value. Yeah, I think the trigger button is calling the activate value, and we want this value. And left select. I think the grab button is called select. Now we're gonna test to see if it works. Where's my left controller? It's my left controller. My link is running. My right battery is still dying, so I'm just gonna do this with the left one. So let's see, this is my hand, and it's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, my animator. I have 0 animator. My bad. That's the stupid thing about not assigning the animator in the code. So now it should work. I'll try again. Wait for the unit Oculus link to start. Okay. And you see, I'm pointing at stuff. And I'm pinching. Beautiful. And I'm pointing. And I'm fisting. Fisting, pointing, and pinching. That is beautiful. Okay. I think that is, we are getting there now, more or less. Now what you can do, you can copy left hand and just basically move it as a right hand, and you should be good. So I'm just going to duplicate the left hand because we have done everything with it. And then I'm going to do this to -19. Oh shit, that keyboard. -19. And then for these values here, I'm gonna get the right select value instead. And the right activate value instead. So now before my right controller runs out of battery, we can try that. And they are both on my right hand. What have I done? What have I done? Oh, because they are both tracking my my left hand controller. So I'm gonna find right position. This is a good way of learning, is by making mistakes. And right rotation. This is so nice with these samples they have given us. So now it's gonna follow the right hand control. I'm also gonna call it right hand just to not fuck things up. Right hand here. And a right hand within a right hand. Good. So I'm pressing play. Right battery low. Thank you. So now it's grabbing. It's pointing. The rotation looks weird. I think I have rotated it the wrong way. But yeah. Otherwise, it should have been like... Oh, my alarm went off. you get the point. You should figure out how to rotate this so it doesn't look weird, but this is how you do it for one hand. Basically what we did for this hand, you do for the other hand, and it should work. All right. As you could hear, my alarm just rang, so I have to go. It's morning, and I have actually go to campus now. So yeah, I'm gonna put this together and uploaded it for you guys to play around with.